Hello and welcome to Tarot Electric. I am Mary Schock and I'm here with my guest today, Kaitlyn Furey.
Hi!
Tarot reader and tarot mystic and all-around cool person. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. This is very cool. This is my first time doing something like this, so I'm excited.
I'm excited to have you. So to start today's podcast, we each pulled a tarot card, right?
Right.
For the listener.
Right.
So we're going to offer some tarot guidance just for you, the listener, across time and space whenever you are hearing this.
Nice. Cool. You want to go first?
Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. I pulled the Hierophant from the Summer Tarot deck. And this card, the Hierophant's the spiritual teacher. I love the Hierophant. It's a card when I get it that asks me to look at my communities. So this would be a time to look at the circles that you're a part of, look at the communities, look at how you can give back to your community, and then look at how your community can support and uplift you. And as the Hierophant, you would have an elevated knowledge and insight that is not available to everyone. So you have something really special to give, and the Hierophant's a call to say, how can you really give your gifts back to the community? And you just want to look at boundaries and how those boundaries are serving you and how you can set boundaries within your community that serve you and serve the community as well. So this is a time for giving back, for getting into your community, and it's one of my favorite cards.
I love that interpretation. Okay, so I pulled the Five of Wands reversed. So with this, when it's upright, it usually means some kind of conflict going on within groups, disagreements, arguments. So when it's reversed, it's saying that if you have been in the midst of some kind of conflict or a big issue in your life, particularly with other people, you're going to see yourself moving away from that and moving into a better headspace and a better relationship with those around you. So this is moving away from conflicts that we've had for quite some time. It also has this energy of getting more focused on the goals that you have for yourself, personal goals, things that you're trying to accomplish in life. So moving away from conflict and putting more of that energy into what you're trying to accomplish within yourself and within your life. So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a good card.
Thank you.
Reversed, I like the reverse cards that are actually positive because most of them are just so negative. So it's cool when the card upright is kind of shitty. So reverse, cool.
You see the brighter side of it.
Yeah, definitely.
I actually love that, and I don't know if you think about this at all when you're reading tarot, but I see the fives as being super connected to the Hierophant because that's card number 5 in the major arcana.
I don't, and when we were talking, when I met you for the first time, we were talking about this stuff. I was like, I gotta get into that because I'm such a numerology. I'm really into numbers, and I'm like, why am I not already doing that? So that's definitely something I need to start thinking about and applying to my readings more often.
It's a cool way to look at it, although it's not the only way.
Yeah, I like that way though, and I started doing that thing where you check the bottom of the deck.
Check the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, and it's funny. Ever since you said that, I've been seeing it more online too, people talking about looking at the bottom of the deck afterwards. I was like, it's cool how things just sync together like that. But yeah, that's something I've been doing and adding to my personal readings.
I love that.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's great. So we're sipping on this turmeric ginger tea.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
You're gonna be so sad when it's gone.
Yeah, I know. It is the best
I can make
thing.
us some tea though once this runs out and put some turmeric in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. This is here for us to share, and I'm just happy to share.
This is so good. Yeah. This is
the
awesome.
perfect summer drink.
It really is. It looks pretty too. It's a really beautiful orange color.
Orange. Okay, so right before we hit record, we were starting to talk about mugwort, and I want to hear everything about your tarot story, Kaitlyn, but I'm wondering if we just want to talk about mugwort.
I kind of want to talk about mugwort, yeah. It sounds good. Mugwort's really, really cool, and it's just an herb that sounds so witchy. I'm pretty sure they talk about it in Harry Potter. I'm pretty sure I've heard that. maybe. I don't know.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it just sounds so cool. But the reason I like it a lot is because if you drink some mugwort tea or take a mugwort tincture before you go to bed, you will have the most vivid dreams and remember all of them. And lucid dreaming, like especially like vivid dreams and lucid dreaming just kind of go together. So it just really connects you to lucidity in dreams, which is awesome. I love dreams. It's like one of the most vital parts of my spirituality, I would say. But something I was just telling her about, it's also a substitute for birth control. It's really, really cool. I recently had a cool experience with it, but the thing with mugwort is pregnant women aren't supposed to touch it because it causes miscarriages because it induces your period. So a couple weeks ago when I was about to get my period, I was like 5 days late. I knew I wasn't pregnant, but I was still just like, oh, like what is up with this? This is so annoying. So I took some of my mugwort tincture that a friend of mine made me, and I got my period within an hour. And I was like, this is crazy. This is so crazy. It really is birth control. It's natural birth control. It's really awesome. So it's something that every woman who's not currently choosing not to take birth control should start doing because it definitely works. But yeah, what are your experiences with mugwort?
I love that. I mean, I love all of that, and we'll definitely like just have to say disclaimer, like we're not doctors.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
medical stuff,
right,
like
yeah. So don't like necessarily listen to me, but if you
do your own research about it if it's interesting to you. But I have definitely heard that before, and I think that's crazy. An amazing use.
It's. I mean, I feel like it makes sense. There's like, I don't know, marijuana does so much, and that's an herb. So like, why wouldn't there be herbs that can do that for us? I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I guess not a doctor. But if you choose not to take birth control, then definitely something to look into. Yeah, it's very interesting.
But I like it for dreaming also, and I like to just pick like a little bit of it and like have it before I go to bed and like smell it and stuff like that. And I've had a tincture before too. That's like really fun. But for me, I think the most fun way to use it is just to have like the fresh herb. But I like it. I like it every kind of way you can get mugwort. I'm into it. You know, I've smoked it in smoking blends before, which is really nice. And I like to make smudge wands with it. So like a smoke cleanser.
That's something I've been wanting to do for a while.
Yeah.
Like make my own smudge sticks.
Oh, I'm really into that. We can do it if you want.
We should totally do that.
So any listener that has their yard overgrown with mugwort, because mugwort's a weed, you know? Like we think of it as a weed and it will take over.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. A friend of mine gave me a ton of fresh mugwort a couple weeks ago, but it all exploded within a couple days.
Oh,
Dang.
Well, that's okay. If they had a lot, they probably have more. And if anyone's listening and wants me to come clear out their yard of mugwort, like I will come harvest it all. And I'm really into making a smudge wand with it because I've heard that it's even better than using like sage and stuff because it's local to this area. So if we're trying to like get out local energy, like
that makes sense. That's very cool.
What's your dream life like?
Oh man, so I used to have the most intense dreams because I didn't smoke weed ever, and every single night was like super lucid. I would do witchcraft rituals like almost every night and just like really like ask questions to my guides and get answers immediately, and I still experience that, and I really don't smoke weed that much anymore, but once I started smoking again, like every single day, it just stopped, and I have not gone back to that point yet. But I feel like what I need to do is start getting myself into a ritual, like drinking mugwort tea every single night, really like making that a big emphasis in my life because I'm not putting as much effort into it as I potentially could. But I still have really beautiful dreams. Like I would say I have like a prophetic type dream at least once a week. I go lucid pretty frequently. Like every time I can remember my dreams, I'm usually lucid in it. My dreams, I'll just ask questions and guides will come before me and start answering them for me. I do like manifestation magic a lot of the time in it, and then I usually see results like the next day. It's pretty crazy. It's like, I don't know. Witchcraft works the best in your dreams, I would say. It's really cool. How about you?
I also have a really wild dream life, and my dreams are, it's just funny that you would say that because they're super connected to my relationship with cannabis. So like, when I was younger, I would have nightmares a lot, and I just had problems sleeping in all ways. So that was like something that cannabis helped me with as a medicine, was sleeping, and then also it was like beneficial for me to not remember any of my dreams because they were so scary. But I stopped smoking cannabis like almost a year ago, and now my dreams are like so vivid, and that's like, it was one of the main reasons why I really wanted to stop smoking weed, was for my spirituality. And this is just my perspective. Like, cannabis is a good medicine. Anyone can use it. But for me, when I stopped, I had really clear connection to my spirituality. And then my dreams, I'm dreaming every night. I remember them. But I don't have lucid dreams. And I feel like I'm working up to it, and I feel like I've gotten closer and closer at times, but I don't have lucid dreams.
One of the like best things to do to start kind of provoking that is ask yourself like 10 times a day, am I dreaming right now?
I've heard that.
Yeah, am I dreaming? So you get into your head where you're like constantly asking yourself if you're dreaming. Eventually you're going to do it in your dream, and you're going to be like, oh my God, I am dreaming. I remember like when I first started doing it all the time, I would immediately just start flying and then wake up. Like that was like the first thing I would do. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm dreaming. Boom. And I just start flying. And it like takes some time to get yourself to stay trained into your dream, because it's so easy to wake up once you're lucid dreaming, because your brain, like a big part of your brain is awake at that time. So it like takes some time to get used to. But it's pretty friggin' amazing. I love it. Really, really cool. I need to start putting more of an emphasis on wanting to connect back to my dreams, because I went like 2 years without smoking ever, and those 2 years was like incredible for my dream life. And I don't smoke ever now, but I still have not connected back to that point yet. But that's like the reason I stopped smoking too, because I don't know, like it's just so not worth it when you can experience that and have that connection. I don't know. I feel like the way I see marijuana is very much as a medicine, and this is just my opinion, but if you don't need it, then it's really almost taking away from you. And I felt like when I was smoking all the time every single day, like I was just living life in kind of a haze. Like there's like a dull feeling over me. It's like a numbing, and I don't know, I don't need it. I feel a lot better without it.
That's super relatable to me, and I'm sure to like a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
Because there are a lot of great things about smoking weed, and I don't think we talk like a lot about when it becomes like a problem.
Yeah, it really can for some people, and I would say pretty much everyone I know who was a heavy smoker and then cut down or cut it away altogether is like, yeah, this is a good thing for me, because it's just you're just like numbing yourself to life all the time. It's really easy to just not care about anything, which is like one of the cool things about pot. But I don't know, then it like gets to a certain point where you just like don't care about anything, and you definitely, your productivity for the most part, at least with my experiences, is just a lot lower. But
and if you're a spiritual person, then I think that's when the use of cannabis just really like butts heads with your spirituality.
Like I've had experiences with like anxiety on pot before, and I've talked to so many highly spiritual people who say like all of a sudden they just started having anxiety attacks, and I really feel like it's spirit trying to communicate with you, like knock it off. This is too much. This is not doing you any justice anymore. Yeah. But marijuana is also a super beautiful plant, and I have so much awesome respect for it, for the medicine that it is. It's really, really great. I wish it didn't fuck with my dreams.
Right. What do you think happens when we're dreaming? Do you have like theories about it?
I don't know. I really haven't thought that much about it, but a part of me feels like it's like a totally different universe and world that we're living in. But then I also feel like our dream world and our real world are kind of like one and the same. Like I think I read something somewhere once that I really vibed with, but it was something along the lines of, when we're dreaming, that's when we're truly awake, and like what we're living in right now is actually like right now is actually the dream, but when we're sleeping, that's when we're truly who we are. I mean, that makes sense. Like you can do anything you want in dreams. Like that makes more sense to me, a world where anything's possible, than when we have limitations.
And this world is definitely an illusion, so I agree with that for sure.
Here's a weird thing. something that's like just happening to me so much frequently, and it's really starting to kind of freak me out. I think I'm going to do a spell to make it stop a little bit on the full moon. But do you have things like go missing or things in your life just change and it doesn't make any sense? Like, do you know any? Does this resonate with you at all?
I'm trying to think of something specific. I mean, I can definitely understand where you're coming from, but do you want to elaborate?
Yeah, so I'll give you some examples. One of the first things that I really noticed was I had this book and I was looking for it everywhere. I couldn't find it. I like tore up all the pillows on my couch, tore up my house looking for this book, and it was just gone. I was like, all right, whatever. I guess this book is gone. That sucks. That's so annoying. Then like 2 months later, I I was like looking on my couch and I was like, what is that? And I saw it under a pillow on my couch. I was like, there's no fucking way. I tore off every pillow. Looked under the couch. I was looking for this book everywhere. How is it suddenly under this pillow? And I've just had things happen where, like, I had this Dr. Bronner soap that I really liked. I put it in my cabinet, and it was just gone, totally gone. I was like, where the fuck did it go? And then, like, 3 months later, it was just, like, in the cabinet, like, in a spot where I would normally put it. And I was like, no, it wasn't there. And I have this sweater, and my friend commented on it too, and she was like, did you sew that on? And I was like, what? And I looked down, and there was like this design on it that I had never seen before, but it was just there. And then I noticed yesterday, I have this proper playground sweater, and the sleeves are a completely different color than they were in the past. I just don't understand what the fuck is happening.
Whoa.
It's so fucking weird.
That is trippy.
It's so weird. I'm like, what is happening? I had this thought in my head that, like, I had this thought, and right after I felt it, shivers went down my body, and I kind of experienced that when I realized something that's real. But the thought I had was, you're, like, swapping into different dimensions, and it's just a little bit like that Berenstain shit where something,
Mandela
just a little
effect.
tiny thing is different. And so I thought in my head, what's happening to you is that you're going into different dimensions, and you're swapping in and out of it. And when I felt that, I felt these shivers all down my spine. I was like, what the fuck is this? But it happens all the time, and it's starting to get like a little malicious. I'm really upset about it. My songbook just went missing out of my bag, and so that was like everything else is kind of funny, but that was like, what the hell? Like I had so many songs in there, and a lot of them I remember really well off the top of my head, but then there's like recent ones that I really don't know that well, and I don't know any of the words to it, and now I'm really sad that's gone. And I had my wallet go missing too out of my bag, and so I think on the full moon, I'm gonna cast some kind of spell. Like, if there's something, some kind of weird energy that's messing with me, knock it off. I'm done with you. But yeah, the sleeve thing really tripped me out. I noticed that last night, and I was like, what the fuck? This was not this color.
That definitely sounds like a true magical experience that you're having, but it also sounds like unpleasant. So I can totally understand.
It's starting to get unpleasant. Like at first it was kind of funny, but like with my songbook, I was like, no, come on, like really, it's just not like the little designs and things happening. That's funny, but when it starts like taking things that are meaningful to me, I'm like, what the fuck? Don't fuck with it.
Yeah, it also sounds a little bit like borrower energy.
What is that?
Or like fairies.
That's okay. So that's what I have been calling them, is interdimensional space trolls. And like that, they fuck with that shit. And I went to Crystal Fox the day that I lost my songbook to get a new one. I was talking to the guy there, and I was like, "My songbook's just gone. It's gone. I'm really upset." And he was like, "Trolls," and I was like, "Yes. This is the universe like telling me that yes, my thoughts are real. There's space trolls fucking with me."
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. It sucks. The songbook one really made me sad. It would be cool if it just like popped up somewhere randomly. That would make me very happy. But I think on the full moon, I'm gonna do some kind of spell to make that stop. At least with stealing things from me. When it changes my clothes, that's kind of funny and weird, and I like it sort of. But taking things, it makes me sad.
Yeah. You need to set some boundaries.
Yeah.
For this energy.
That's exactly what I need to do. So full moon's next week. I got this.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
You're in control of your reality.
I definitely feel like that. Yeah. Meh.
So I really want to hear about your tarot journey and story. Do you want to
Cool.
chat about it? Like,
Yeah,
how'd
definitely.
you get into it?
Definitely. So just like things of like the witchy occult nature have always been very attractive to me. I was like a diehard Harry Potter fan from a very young age, so I was just like wanted to be a witch so bad. Uh, but I was given two different decks at a really, really young age. One from my mom, and then one from someone else. I have no idea, but I had two different ones. And the first time I used it, I was like 10 years old, and I manipulated the deck so that like the scariest cards popped up, and I just like did a reading for my friend and used the worst ones. And that's the only time I like messed with it. And I kept like thinking about it a lot, but I had this idea in my head that it was something kind of difficult to do and difficult to learn, so I just didn't really pick it up. But so it's like it was 2 years ago on April Fool's Day, actually, which is really cool to me because that's the first card in the deck, the Fool.
Yeah.
So that was I didn't think about it at the time, but thinking back to it, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. But I had broken up with like my first serious boyfriend, and I was like felt right about it, but also like was hurting so much over it and really, really sad. So I just need some kind of advice, some kind of something outside of myself. So I turned to tarot and started using it, and it was this immediate connection. I was doing it all the time for all kinds of stuff, like multiple times a day for all my friends. And then the beginning of the summer last year, I kind of made this goal for myself where I was like, all right, at the end of the summer, I'm going to know this deck and I'm going to feel very, very comfortable giving readings to people and without ever having to reference anything. So at the end of the summer, I did that, and then September 16th, it was a full moon, I did tarot for my first time at a show, and it just like really like picked up really quickly after that, and I love it. Yeah, it's so much fun. Yeah, it's my favorite. Love tarot. And I love like spreading the wealth and knowledge about it. I think everyone should get themselves a tarot deck. It's very cool.
I agree.
It's so cool. It's like just
Everyone
the best
should be
way
doing
for
that.
understanding your mind and just shit outside yourself, and it helps you prepare for things better. Yeah, I had like a tarot card. I got the Two of Cups reversed one day on the day that a boyfriend broke up with me, and I was like, this fucking sucks. I knew this was gonna happen, but like it was totally kind of better that way. Like it helped me deal with it a little bit better. Yeah, tarot's weird. It's crazy.
Do you remember what your first decks were?
Yeah, I had Rider-Waite.
Yeah.
That's still what I use all the time. That's my favorite.
And when you really started getting into it 2 years ago, did you keep those decks?
So I actually gave away my first tarot deck that I started using when I was drunk at a bar, and I was so upset and sad the next day.
I'm sorry.
But no, I mean it's kind of funny. It's cool now, but I looked in my bag and one card was left, and it was the Magician.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the Magician was the only card left, and since then, the Magician is just something that follows me all the time. Yeah. So it's honored on my altar. So this is the last remaining card of my first tarot deck.
Whoa.
But yeah, so like that experience is pretty beautiful. Yeah. So I like it's kind of worth it. It made me sad, but I got over it. You know.
It must have been meant to be.
Yeah, definitely meant to be. Like right before I pulled it out of my bag, I was thinking to myself, like, what the fuck? I gave away my first tarot deck. How could I do that? I need to stop drinking so much. I need to like get control over that shit. And then I pulled that out, and it was like this reminder that you are the creator of your reality. And yeah, you can do whatever you want. You create this life, and if you don't want to be such a drunk bitch, you can do that.
That's kind of crazy because I told this story on one of these podcasts previously that was like a solo up, so I'm not going to get fully into it right now. But in one of my first decks, like one of my early decks, I was using it at night over the water, and I lost one card. And then later I had to look and see what it was, and it was the World. But, like, it was the same experience of, like, you know, you were, like, left with this one card, I, like, lost this one card, and then it's very special. Meaningful. And then I also, at that time, it definitely made me look at my life and be like, wait, something's not right in your world, and also you're, like, partying too much, like don't go out by the water and use your tarot deck, that's dumb, and like everything else. So I feel like even when we have these things that make us sad,
it's definitely I was very upset over it for a couple months, but like I got over it. I don't know, detachment is a good thing. You don't have to. And the Rider-Waite, it's so universal. It's very easy to find a new deck. And I actually just gave so I bought a new one, and then I left it at a friend's house, and they were super into it and thought it was super cool. I just wanted a deck for themselves. And then my neighbor at my parents' house saw a tarot deck with a pretty tarot bag, this one actually, and she got it for me.
Aww.
And so it was a Rider-Waite. So I kept that one, and then I left the other deck at my friend's house. And
that's
gave
perfect.
That to them. Yeah, it's pretty. But yeah, Rider-Waite's definitely my go-to. That's like what I use for anything important for myself. It's what I use when I'm reading at events. I just really vibe with it. I don't know what it is.
It's an amazing deck.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, every other tarot deck for the most part is based off of that. So there's just like so much energy around it, and I don't know, so much inspiration behind it. I really like it.
Are you a deck collector? Do you have a couple others?
I have 13 actually right now.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, I definitely, I have I wonder if you can hear me from here.
We'll take it.
Cool.
Here. Okay.
So I have the Tree of Life Oracle. My friend Kira gave me that. Enchanted Oracle, Osho Zen. 6 of these a friend gave me. She's really awesome.
That's
Miss
nice.
Cleo's tarot deck. I just thought that was really funny. It was like $10. It's actually a really cool deck too. It's like Egyptian themed. Doreen Virtue, Angel cards, Aleister Crowley. This deck kind of freaks me out. He kind of freaks me out. But I feel like it's just like if you're collecting decks, it's like one of the ones you gotta have. The art's really beautiful on it though, but I just feel like everything I pull whenever I do a reading with it is so cynical and pessimistic, like just like him, like he's just evil. I don't know. So that's like the vibe I get from this. It's like so meh, not happy. And Noah Nafo, she's a really, really awesome artist, and she did oracle cards. Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, also Dream Virtue, Lucidity Oracle deck with a bunch of really popular visionary artists. This deck is fucking awesome. It's probably like my second favorite deck after
cool.
Rally. It's really awesome. It has cards about sleep paralysis and lucid dreaming and animal guides. It's just like really, really intensely spiritual. It's fucking cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Wisdom of the Hidden Realms deck. The art in here is really beautiful. Myths and Mermaids. I love this deck. This is probably my favorite oracle deck that I have. Yeah, it's just like the art's really pretty. They look really cute.
Aww.
I like it.
Yeah,
And Fairy Tale Tarot. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a good collection.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get another this weekend. I'm going to Boston. So I'll probably like stop in some kind of mystic type shop. And whenever I go somewhere, I like to get a new tarot deck.
Oh, I was just in Boston, and I went to this really cool shop actually that had a huge collection of tarot. I'll find the name and send
please
it
do.
to you.
Yeah, I'll totally go there. That sounds awesome.
I mean, I think there are like a lot of great metaphysical stores you could go to in Boston. So I don't know if you're going to be in this area or whatever, but I'll show you because they had so much.
I'll definitely let me know. Right now my wish list is Golden Thread Tarot. That's like probably the top because I pull like tarot cards and dreams a lot too, and I pulled this tarot cards. I didn't recognize the deck, and then I saw it on Instagram, and I was like, oh my god, this is from my dream.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I was like, this is like what I need next. That I want the Aquarius deck. I want the Steampunk Tarot deck. It looks fucking cool. Deviant Moon Tarot. Yeah, I want them all.
Yeah, you can't go wrong, I feel like, with having a bunch of tarot decks, especially if you're a reader and if you like to share it with others and try to get other people into reading, because then your decks can always be like something that might inspire someone else.
I like to use them on Instagram a lot. I do this thing on Wednesdays. I actually need to do it for today. I'll do it later today, but I do like an Oracle Wednesday type thing, and I'll pick 3 different runes over 3 different cards, and so people will pick the rune they're drawn to, and then the next day I reveal the cards. So I like to use like all different kinds of decks for that.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
What's your Instagram? We'll say it at the end.
At Kaitlyn Furey, so that's my name.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Can you spell it?
KAITLYNFUREY.
Perfect. So everyone should go follow Kaitlyn. And get your Oracle Wednesday readings.
Yay. Yeah.
Do you find that like using an Oracle deck kind of has a different vibe than when you use a traditional tarot deck?
Definitely. I think I just think the energies are just so much more exact a lot of the time and on point. Like there's this one card in the Mermaid deck that's like you are about to find true love, the love that lasts a lifetime, and there's like just cards like directly about your dreams. I don't know. It's just I would say it's I would say oracle decks are a lot more for like the soul and your spirituality, and then tarot I feel like has a lot more to do with life experiences.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I feel about it. I like them both.
And how does your rune practice?
Runes.
What do you think?
That's actually I think I did pendulum first, but runes I started doing when I was like 17, so before tarot, and I would pull one every single day, and that's really not something I started doing the runes with my oracle readings as a way to try to teach myself it a little bit better. I really I couldn't pull one and tell you what it is. I'm not on that level yet, but they're cool. I definitely prefer tarot for sure, but I just think it's cool. I think all kinds of divination are pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm into all of it also. I definitely have like 2 sets of runes that pretty much never get used. No offense to those runes.
Yeah.
I've heard some people describe, which kind of resonates with me, as runes being a more like masculine energy, and then tarot can sometimes be like a more feminine energy.
Because it's so like, yeah, because with tarot it's like all about the art, but this is just like one simple sign, like very kind of logical, straight to the point. Yeah, I would definitely see that. Yeah, I keep them in this cool thing that my parents got me from I think Mexico. But yeah, so I'll just like toss them around like that and then pick one out. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, this is a blank rune.
Oh, that's cool.
Weird.
That's such a good sound.
I know. I like it definitely beautiful. It feels like powerful when I do it. I definitely feel a lot of energy come up while I'm shaking them. But yeah, I like it. It's good.
It's such a good sound.
Good stuff. So do you do any other kinds of divination practices?
I'm mostly tarot.
Yeah.
At all times.
Yeah.
You know, I have a pendulum that's fun to work with sometimes, but I'm pretty much tarot.
Yeah, I used to be super into the pendulum. I would do like chakra readings for myself all the time, and I really like it for that reason. But it always kind of like sketches me out a little because I'm like, am I like moving this to get what I want, or is this like actually what's happening? And I feel like it's like a little bit of both a lot of the time. And kind of like what I think about that is maybe it's like a deep part of your intuition, so you already know the answer, so that's like why you're bringing it out. But at the same time, tarot is just like you're not gonna like trick yourself or like set it up for the way you want. Like it's so random, and yeah, I like tarot too. I really don't mess with my pendulum too much anymore, but it's fun. They're pretty.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I like it. Tarot is just where my heart is, you know, like the art and the study of it and the history. It's just, that's like,
yeah, I definitely feel the same way. It was like when I first started doing it, just like instant connection. I was like, oh, this is me. Yes.
And so now you read at events.
Yeah.
Shows a lot and festivals.
Yeah, I do like music shows, and I'm doing festivals this summer for my first time. That's been really fun.
Congrats, that's cool.
Thanks. Yeah, it's really fun. I like it a lot. But yeah, I do it a lot at music shows. I've read at the 8x10 a ton. Yeah, I have to like be careful which shows I go to though, because I just love music so much. So a lot of the time, if I'm doing like a show with a band that I really like, I'll just be like, I'm sad. I want to go dance. I don't want to do this. But it's really fun. I like it.
Do you feel like how do you deal with the energy of reading tarot, which is like such a spiritual thing, and obviously you take it really seriously and it really means something to you, and then, you know, at a show there's like so much energy, right, and noise and stuff? Yeah,
people like ask me that question a lot. It really honestly does not affect me. Like I feel like I just decide that I'm not going to care about it, and so that's how it is. Like I definitely see myself as empathic, but something that I've realized like getting older is if you can feel everything, you can also choose to feel nothing. Like it's really like a duality type thing, and people who like take on a lot of energy really just haven't figure out the way to shut it off yet, but you really don't have to feel everything. You can, it's like a very conscious decision that I just don't care. I don't know, it really doesn't affect me at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good place to be.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. I was not always that way at all, but just like getting older, like I really, it only like messes with you if you let it. Like some people will be like, oh, like I don't let people touch my tarot cards. I don't want their energy with it. But it's like you're making that conscious decision to allow their energy to affect you when you're doing something like that. So I just like make the conscious decision not to care.
Yeah.
And it works. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely resonate with that. It's like as we create our own realities, we can just allow that to keep us clear, right?
Yeah.
But you can also reverse that and allow it to have your anxiety like create a bad experience.
Yeah, that's definitely how I feel. I just think for the most part, if people feel like so and so messes with their energy, they're making that conscious decision to allow it to, and I think people are very capable of shutting it off. It's just like it's a trick. It's really hard to figure it out, but once you got it, it's good stuff.
Yeah,
it's good to. It's just better to not let things affect you, to not get bothered by things. It's stressful if you're someone who's constantly kind of freaking out about stuff.
Yeah. It's definitely worth taking the time to like learn how to do that for yourself personally.
Yeah.
Like we're not saying that it's like easy
for
everyone to do.
It isn't easy,
but it's
like once it isn't easy at all, but once you figure it out, then it's like you're never going to forget it and you can just turn it off. But yeah, it's just like a weird trick and there's not really like any kind of explaining it. It's something you have to figure out for yourself.
Yeah. I vibe with that. But when you set up, you must find that people like will line up right away, right? If you're at a show or something.
Not always.
Not
Usually,
always.
like a lot of the time, I'll be totally not doing anything for 20 minutes. It usually takes like one person to get up the nerve and do it, and then more people start following. Like I'll go like 45 minutes without doing a reading, and then once one person's like, all right, I'm gonna try this, other people kind of see it, and then they're like, all right, I'm gonna try this too. But yeah, definitely not. It usually takes like a while to pick it up, but once it starts picking up, then it's like one person after the next, after the next, after the next. But yeah, I think a lot of people are really scared of it. A lot of people are really nervous. I get a lot of people telling me it's their first time, they're super terrified, but then afterwards they're really happy that they did it, and just like they have like a new take on it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's your, like, if someone were to ask you, like, oh, I've never gotten a tarot reading, I'm kind of nervous, like, what's your style? Like, what would you say to them?
I tell them I love virgins, they're my favorite. But then I just, like, say, like, it's really not that scary. I get new people all the time, and you'll probably really like it once you're finished. And then they do. Yeah, it usually works out that the people who are doing it for the first time, they don't really get, like, anything too intense or scary. And they're like, oh, that was really cool. That was different than I thought. And a lot of people are really afraid of death. They're like, oh my god, but what if I didn't get the death card? That means I'm going to die. I'm like, no, that's not what it means at all. I like to compare it to like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, death, rebirth, transformation. But yeah, people are like always really afraid of that.
Yeah. But they still want it done.
Yeah,
it's like that doesn't stop them from sitting down with you, so they must really want it.
Yeah,
right?
They want it. They're just like freaked out because they'll see stuff in movies and whatnot, and just assume whatever about it.
Things.
Yeah.
Have you ever had anyone get mad? Have you had like
no
bad experiences?
One time,
bad reactions?
Not a bad reaction, but one of the things why like I will not read two people at once. I had this really cute couple. They're really cute, really happy. I read the girl, then I read the guy, and they sat down. They're like, can you read us together as a couple? And I was like, I don't like this, but like, yeah, sure. And for the future, they got 2 of Cups reversed, which means breaking up. And I didn't say that. I just like, in the future, there may be like intense disagreements about certain things and some kind of imbalance. I didn't say like, this is the breakup card. I was like, fuck, like I hate this. I don't like this position. I don't want to like ruin their time by saying like, hey, you guys are gonna break up, sorry. But yeah, so I don't do that anymore. I don't feel like you should do that. I don't know, it's just weird. I would never want to like get a relationship reading with my partner.
Yeah.
Weird, just weird.
Yeah. I don't like to do that also, and I used to just tell people straight up like, no, I'm not doing it. But now sometimes if I have people come up and they're like, we want to get one for each other, I'll be like, okay, well, if I read for the two of you together, it's going to be about your relationship together. But I could read for each of you personally about your own stuff. And usually, like, if I lay it out to them like that, they'll think about it and they'll be like, okay, I just want to know about me. Because I think in the end, people really want to know about themselves, But yeah, I definitely try and avoid that too because I don't think it's very fun.
No, it's not fun. Another thing I really don't like reading about, and I haven't had anyone ask in a really long time, but health.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that. I don't know. Because there was one time where it was like 3 different people who asked me about it because I was doing this event where I was hired to read tarot at a hotel. So it was like all like older people, adults. And so like 3 of them like asked about like their husband's health and then like their child's and nothing looked good. And I just felt awful. And like it just was not good insight. And they were like definitely like disturbed by it. And yeah, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to, because then I felt bad for the rest of my life, night. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not happy. I don't like it.
Yeah, that must have been a good learning experience. I definitely know some readers that will put up that boundary, like I'm not reading for health at all, which I think is totally fair.
Like if you need to know that bad, get yourself your own tarot deck.
Go to the doctor.
I don't know. It's just. Yeah.
What are your favorite things to read about? Like ideal questions someone's like wanting to know.
My favorite questions are things that are just so ridiculous and like things that you would never think that you should ask. Like this one time, this girl came to me and she's like, I was like, all right, do you have any questions, any issues going on in your life? And she's like, yeah, so like at the gym, I've been working on my legs a lot and it's getting really, really hard. And I'm just wondering, should I keep working on my legs or should I move on to something else that's easier? Because it's just like getting really difficult. And I was like, okay, let's do that. And so I did it and we pulled the moon reverse, which is all about uncovering insecurities and like getting over your fears. So I was like, I think you should keep working on your legs and just like keep working through that. She's like, awesome, thanks.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I just like love weird shit like that, like just to like test it, see how far we can go with it. But really just like the most ridiculous random questions. I love that. Another guy asked me where his socks are because he was missing them. I can't remember what the card was, but it was something along the lines of something very close to you, like right under your nose. And then the next time I saw him, he was like, my girlfriend had my socks. You're right.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
So just weird shit like that. I love it. I think relationship stuff is boring, but it's also kind of interesting at the same time. Like I would say that's like the biggest one I get, stuff about relationships. But yeah, and it's usually like some shit like leave him, he's a fuckboy. Because if you have to ask, then there's already like something going on. But yeah.
Do you feel like your style of reading is more like blunt? Like, will you tell someone straight up like, oh, this is not a good person?
Definitely. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I'm like that with like all my friends too, advice and shit. I'm going to school to become a therapist, and when I have that on lock and I have like my certification and whatnot, I'm gonna like make a disclaimer for my clients. I'm gonna tell you what I'm thinking and what you need to be doing and if you're being stupid or not. And if you don't like it, we can't work together, sorry. But I could never just be someone who's like, yeah, so how does that feel? What do you think about that? I'm definitely gonna be in their face and like, this is what you need to be doing. Fuck him. He's the worst. Yeah.
That's exactly what people need sometimes, though.
It's exactly what people need. Yeah. You know, like, why are you into a therapist? Just, like you're obviously trying to, like, figure something out and work on something. I don't know. If I was to get a therapist, I would definitely want them to tell me how they felt. But
do you think you would want to, like, blend those practices in the future?
100%.
You'll use tarot 100%. With your
100%.
Therapy clients,
definitely.
right?
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was like the first thing I was thinking when I first started getting into it. I was like, oh, I'm going to definitely use this with clients because it's just like, it's like that third party perspective. It's really cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And there'll be a lot of like literature and stuff you can get into also because there's just so much out there about like psychology and tarot. Mm-hmm. So like
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And you might be like making your own books in the
That's
future, like your own practices.
That's definitely where I see myself going with it for sure. Definitely see writing books in my future, not something out of school, but yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think it would be, I mean, I've never been to a therapist that used tarot cards, but if I went to a therapist that used tarot or oracle cards, it would definitely be a good experience for me. I would definitely vibe with that. Maybe I should look for one that would. That would be like call up all the therapists and be like,
oh yeah, definitely. I'm sure there's something around Baltimore. It's pretty cool.
So you read tarot a lot for yourself?
Yeah. I do like the one card draws a lot, like in the beginning of my day, but I don't know. I reserve like big spreads for things that, or just like, I don't know. I definitely am choosy about what I choose to read with. I try to reserve it for things that I really need answers to. I don't know. Just like make it a little more special. I used to do like readings about every fucking thing every day when I first started doing it, but I don't know. I feel like you gotta find answers within yourself too, and not just like rely on a deck all the time. Because I feel like there could be a toxic attachment to it. Like I've read online some people who like don't do anything, don't make any decisions without consulting their deck first. It's like, I don't know. That's just me.
No, I think you're completely right, because I've at times had to take a break from reading so much tarot for myself, and I've seen it in other people too.
Yeah. Like when I first started reading, I was like every single thing was me drawing cards for, and I don't know. You gotta be able to rely on yourself, and I feel like when you're putting all that anxiety energy into it, it could also give you something that's not totally accurate.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because don't you feel like there is a difference though when you're reading for yourself and you're reading for someone else? Like
definitely. I get like, and it might just be because like I know me, but I definitely feel like I get more like mystical, weird, almost like goofy jokester type stuff.
When you're reading for yourself.
Yeah, but that could also just be because I know myself. I don't know this person. I don't know like what would be jokester for them. But definitely, I don't know. I don't know. It's like they're playing games with me sometimes.
Yeah, totally. So that's why I think like when we are reading so much for ourselves, it becomes this place where you might not be getting something that's so accurate, like you said, because we know ourselves, so we're reading into it to be just exactly how we want it to be, or to play out our anxieties in a certain way. But like when I'm reading so I like to read for myself and I get a lot out of it, but it's definitely, that feels more like therapy to me when I read for myself. It feels like psychotherapy or like analysis, personal analysis. But like when I'm reading for someone else, I just feel like my personal ego moves to the side and then get real intuitive, like spiritual insight for this other person, you know? So, yeah, so like it just feels totally different, and that's why I think it can get to be too much reading for yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I'll take a break. But I can always read for other people. I can read for other people all day. Yeah. It's not a problem.
Yeah, it starts like, I don't know, when you start like asking the same question over and over again, it's like,
and your cards get over it.
Yeah, and sometimes like I'll ask the same question over and over and over again, and then I'll get like that answer I was looking for, but at the same time I'm like, okay, this isn't right. This isn't right. Yeah, I try to ask it once, maybe ask it again in like 3 months if I have to, but ask it once, use that as your answer, whatever it is, whether you like it or not.
That's a good policy.
Yeah.
Do you have any like funny tarot stories? Have you ever been, when you're like haunted by that one card that just keeps popping up?
The Magician is like that one for me. Yeah, where it just like pops up a lot, like in other people's readings for me. Yeah, this one time I was talking with this girl who kind of introduced me to the idea of the follower. The idea that like you just have one card that follows you all the time, and she was telling me hers is Hangman. So I was like, oh, well, I really like High Priestess, but I mean, I guess like it would probably be Magician for me because this and this and this, and I picked up my deck, and then it was the one on the bottom of the deck. I was like,
of course.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can really think of anything.
Do you identify as the Magician?
Definitely.
That's like your type,
once I like pulled that from my bag after giving away my cards when I was drunk, I like really like researched it a lot more, and I was like, yes, like I'm the magician. I create my life, and ever since I started honoring it on my altar, I just felt like opportunities were really kind of just being presented to me all the time. So that's cool. I kind of want to get another Rider Waite deck just to use for like ritual type purposes and like altar type stuff because I use my deck so much. I wouldn't want to, leave it on my altar and have to like come back and take it and like I don't know, but I would like to just get a new deck to just use for ritual type spell work. Be cool.
Yeah, that sounds smart to me. How often do you practice spell work like that?
Um, pretty. I don't know. I don't know what the definition of frequently would be. Um, Usually I kind of try to reserve that too for things that I really, really want.
Yeah.
But I would do like I do like ritual type stuff on new moons and full moons, and I'll often incorporate a spell into it if there's something going on around the time that I really want. But I try to reserve it for times where I really, really want something. I used to do like love spells a lot if it had been like a month or so since I like made out with someone or whatever. But with that stuff, I've noticed it's like a real like be careful what you wish for type thing. Like I would do a love spell and then I would have so many random weirdos just like blowing up my notifications and my inbox and Facebook and just like have really really creepy experiences. So it would like work, but it's like I don't know. Like I've kind of I just don't really do that anymore, and I've kind of come to the terms with the idea that the important, meaningful stuff happens when it happens, and you can't rush that forward. Like it happens when it happens. You can't make something beautiful and loving and fantastic happen before it's ready to. So with love spells, I've always just had weird experiences. I don't fuck with anymore.
Yeah, no more love spells.
No,
it's a good policy.
Yeah, it's just like it happens when it happens. You can't speed up the meaningful stuff that actually resonates with you and does something good for your life. I don't know. I just have creeper experiences whenever I do it.
Yeah. And so when you're doing spell work or working with the moon cycles, do you usually incorporate tarot into it?
No, not really, honestly. I have in the past, but it's definitely not something that I do all the time. I just don't really think to. I think if I got like a specific deck just for it, I'd probably start doing it more often.
Right.
But yeah, not really, no.
Do you identify as a witch?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I wouldn't say Wiccan, even though if I like had to fall into one of those, it would definitely be that because I'm all about like the harm none.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I like believe in like the threefold rule. I just like I don't like subscribing to something, some kind of like putting myself in that box, but I will put myself in the box of a witch. I love it. I love the term. I said it earlier. I loved Harry Potter so much, so like my witchcraft is almost kind of like half religion, half like living out this childhood fantasy that I wanted so bad as being a witch. But yeah, definitely call myself a witch.
I love that. Did you grow up religious?
Yeah, I went to church every single Sunday, Catholic church. But so I got confirmed in the Catholic church too. And once me and my sister did that, my parents don't go to church anymore. I'm very open about my witchcraft. And at first they were like, what? Like, why are you doing that? Because they didn't really understand it. But once I started talking about it more, they're cool with it. And they think it's cool. They think it's interesting. I think for the most part, they're just happy that I am a spiritual person and like doing good things with it. And it like dictates my life in a positive way. So I feel like that's like the main reason why they took me and my sister to church every single Sunday to like get that in our brains. And my sister's very spiritual as well. She has different beliefs. The witchcraft stuff kind of freaks her out, but at the same time she's into it. She'll be like, I don't want to touch that, but can you do a tarot spread for me? Can you do a pendulum reading for me? Like the last time she was over here, she's like, I'm not touching that pendulum. I'm afraid of it. But then she like asked me to ask her like 50 different fucking questions. So she's like, she thinks it's cool, but she is just very like spooked out by it, but also thinks it's cool. But yeah.
That sounds like an ideal situation.
Yeah, it's actually super weird when I like had my big spiritual awakening when I was 17, and pretty like soon after that I just started getting ideas in my head about like Wicca and witchcraft, but it wasn't until I was like 18 years old that I really started putting energy towards it, and I was like, all right, I want to do this. And the first like week where I really started reading about it and really made the conscious decision that it's something I want to try, my mom came to me and she was like, Jillian's scared. She had a dream that you were a witch. Like, please don't become a witch. It's really scaring her. I was like, I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about. But I was like, that's so weird. So weird. But, yeah, I'm very open with it now, and they think it's cool.
That's perfect.
Yeah, they actually got me, it's actually really cool. They got me, this tasseomancy thing for Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're like pretty, I guess, supportive with it as well. And then this palmistry hand for Christmas as well. So
Whoa.
it's like, yeah, it's cool. So they're very supportive.
That's so cool. This little teacup is amazing.
I know, I love it.
So it's for reading your tea leaves.
Yeah, I've recently started doing it a little more. It's really interesting. It's really cool. I like it.
This is beautiful.
Eventually I'll be doing this and palm reading at shows as well and events. But I probably have a while to go before I get there. It's palmistry is something I've been studying recently, and it is so freaking hard to learn. Like with tarot, I would say tarot is like memorization in the beginning, but then it becomes this very like intuitive psychic practice.
Yeah.
But with palmistry, it is all just memorizing and remembering every single like line and what that means and all this stuff. Like there's no intuition about that. It's just all like something that you have to really, really understand and know and study. And so I've been trying to get into it, but it's so hard. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to really dedicate myself to it until I'm out of school, because it's really just like, it's hard.
But keep working at it little by little, because I can see palmistry being so great for shows because...
Oh, it's so easy. And,
exactly.
And people ask me all the time. They're always like, oh, do you read palmistry?
People ask me that too, actually.
Like, no, not yet, but one day. But yeah, it is like something, like read a little bit. I think I'm really trying to dedicate a lot of time to it this summer when I'm not in school.
Cool.
At least I'm in school for like the second half of the summer, but I'm going to have a lot of time where I can just read and do stuff. So I'm trying to really get a good grip on it this summer, see how good that goes. But it is hard. It's like, wow, this is hard.
But worth studying.
Definitely worth studying. It's something I'm very attracted to. When I was little, I would always like draw on the lines and like go over them on the lines of my hands with pen, and just like was always really fascinated with it. So I just feel like I have that like connection. Kind of, I don't know, but yeah, it's super, super cool.
But going back to your family, because I grew up Catholic also, and do you feel like, isn't there a correlation between magic and Catholicism? Like, I just feel like the Catholic faith is so magical. I don't know.
I've never really thought about it. You should expand on it more.
Oh yeah. Well, I went to Catholic school until 8th grade, and had to go to church, and I was like an altar server, so I was deep in it. You know what I mean? But the rituals of Mass are like, I mean, you could use that same layout when building like a witchcraft spell, and actually they're like really related, a lot of them. And then also I'm really personally like very much into saint worship. So
okay, like Archangel Michael.
Yeah, the angels for sure, but then also the specific saints, because you'll get like patron saint of whatever, and you can like, and then the saints all have these like symbols that are related to them and like things that they're supposed to help you with and that kind of stuff. So it's like this group of deities, you know, they're like these like demigods-ish, you know?
Very cool.
Yeah. And then I'm super into like the Virgin Mary as a mother goddess archetype, you know?
Cool. I definitely have a strong connection to Jesus. Like that, like I've never gotten too much into like deity worship, like Hecate a little bit, but if I like had to pick one that I would vibe to the most, it would definitely be Jesus. Cool. I don't know, I just think his story is so incredible. I think he's like a badass. I just think he's really open and beautiful and loving, and the idea that a Christian is someone who tries to model themselves off the life of Jesus Christ and try to be like him, in that sense I'm like totally a Christian. I just think his story is so beautiful, how open and loving he was to all types of people. really, really like him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super into Jesus too. I think that Jesus was definitely like
ascended master.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So in the Rider-Waite deck, I mean, I feel like having understood some like Catholic stories and biblical stories, it helps you read the Rider-Waite deck because that deck is super, super Christian, right?
Definitely. Like, the Magician kind of reminds me of Jesus a lot. Like, I don't know, I like get that vibe from the Magician for some reason. I mean, and also, like, I don't know, he, like, did those magic tricks, like, turning water into wine.
Yes.
Holy shit, yeah, totally, Jesus is totally the Magician.
Completely.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And once you start getting in there, I mean, and
I would say, like, High Priestess,
like
Day. Yeah. High Priestess definitely reminds me of, like, Virgin Mary.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really, like, thought of that before. That's, like, cool. That's a cool new connection to make.
Now you'll see it all the time, and I think that, like, for a lot of magical practices, having a background of understanding the Bible and Christianity, it just helps you because, like, so much of modern, like, literature and mythology and stuff is kind of built up around, if you understand the Bible and biblical stories, then you're going to really understand, like, a lot of Renaissance art, which is where the tarot came out of, and a lot of magic too.
Cool.
I feel like it's just a good baseline to have.
Definitely. I'm definitely happy that I grew up in that religion, although I, like, don't agree with a lot of it, but
yeah, pretty problematic.
Yeah, definitely. But if you just, like, follow the story of Jesus Christ, I think it's a pretty beautiful religion. You just stick to that and cut around the bullshit.
So what types of tarot spreads do you like to use? What's your style?
I honestly, like, when I'm doing it at shows and stuff, I'll do, like, big things, like 5, 6 spreads, because it looks nice and people like it. But for myself, like, 1 card readings, honestly. Like, that, like, I ask 1 question, get 1 card, and that, like, answers everything for me. I used to do, like, the bigger spreads, but just, like, getting more into it, I realized this is really all I need, and it just gets right to the point. But I'll do past, present, future a lot, and I make spreads for new moons and full moons, so those things are kind of just like a life checkup, like looking at different areas of your life. So I'll do, like, bigger spreads for new moons and full moons and, like, Sabbats and things like that, but for the most part, like, if I have a question I need to ask, I just pull 1 card, and that gives me everything I need. Perfect. Yeah.
Do you have any, like, books or authors or stuff that you started when you were, like, starting to learn tarot or starting to get into spirituality that you would, like, recommend as other people check out?
Yeah, so I don't have any books on tarot, but biddytarot.com. Yeah, you know that website?
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. That's, like, it's just, like something that I really didn't like about, that I really don't like about a lot of spiritual books, honestly, is that I feel like they're almost trying to show off and not trying to teach. Like, they use all these big words. Like, I don't really understand what you're talking about. If you're trying to, like, teach people, I feel like you should put it into these terms that are relatable and that people can understand. Like, and almost all the spiritual books I have, like, it's just, like, these huge words, and, like, I don't really understand what the fuck you're trying to say. But with Biddy Tarot, it's, like, it's just very down to earth, really helps you understand the personality of the cards without just, like, adding in a lot of extra bullshit. So I really don't, I don't know, I really don't, I like spiritual books on, like, specific topics, because I feel like you can find that more down to earth vibe, but, like, things such as just, like, trying to get into a whole wide variety of topics, I feel like it just becomes, like, this showy, offy type thing, and I see a lot of ego in it, and I don't really vibe with it. Like, that's one of the reasons I want to write a book. I want to write a book about witchcraft and make it, like, very easy to understand, not, I don't know. But, let me think. I really like The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life, Part 1. Part 2 made me realize that the dude who writes it is an egotistical, sexist douchebag. But, it's really interesting. I really, really liked that book. It could potentially be fiction, probably is, maybe, but it explains, like, the history of the world and how, we got here on Earth, and so it's, like, it's kind of something to take with a grain of salt, but it was very interesting. I mean, really resonated with me a lot, so I liked that a lot.
Those are good.
This is the best book. What is it? Everyday Witchcraft by Deborah Blake. So this is just a way to add witchcraft into your everyday life. It really, really helped me just get into it and start becoming a witch. It's really easy to understand. I really like it, but it just touches on all kinds of different aspects of witchcraft, and it's really fucking awesome. And this book is why, like, I am the way I am, probably. So this book, this book is great. This book is great. This book is awesome. Yeah, love this book. Yeah, okay, this book. This book is good. But yeah, a lot of I don't know. I'm just very picky with a lot of spiritual books. Like, everyone tells me how much they love The Power of Now, and I fucking hated it. I don't know. You never read it? Yeah. I just, like, I heard such awesome things about it. It was like a New York Times bestseller. And I didn't even finish the entire thing because I just felt like he was repeating the exact same thing over and over and over again. And I felt like I already knew it too. Mm-hmm. But, so I don't like that book, but everyone else likes it. So I guess I'm wrong, maybe. I don't know.
All right. So what are you doing that people can come and find you, get a tarot reading? What are you up to?
So I've been doing, like, online stuff more lately. I'll do, like, Skype sessions or FaceTime if you have an iPhone. So I'll, like, call you, and then we'll do the tarot reading. So you can send me, I'll, like, put up spreads for new moons and full moons. And when I put those up, the day before the new moon or full moon, the day of, and then the day after, it's $5 for that spread. So I get a lot of work with that. But my Instagram is a good place to find me. For this summer, I will be at Bless the Woods Festival, Not Fade Away Festival, and I'm doing, like, a couple of vending things in Baltimore. My friend Victoria, she does henna, so we're going to have, like, a joint thing. I think I'll be at Mind Movers. I can't remember. My friend Scott's throwing this festival in September. I think I'll be there. But, yeah, a lot of my stuff I'm doing online. And I like that. I'm, like, trying to get more online clients. That would be cool.
And so we told people where to find you on Instagram at Kaitlyn Furey.
Yes. And then my Facebook page is facebook.com/Kaitlyn Furey Tarot. But I think my Instagram's cooler. Mm-hmm. There's, like, more just, like, witchy, fun stuff on there that I don't really put on Facebook. I think that's everything.
I'll put links in the show notes so people can click and follow and get to know you.
Cool. Yeah, and then I accept a lot of Facebook friend requests too, so you can find me on Facebook, Kaitlyn Furey. And my stuff is public too, so, like, even if you can't send me a friend request, you can just, like, look at it. But I put a lot of, like, witchy stuff on there as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Kaitlyn, I really want to say thank you so much for being on Tarot Electric. It was just really fun to talk with you.
This was super fun. Yeah, I loved this. This is great. Cool. I love it. Yay.
Awesome. We'll have to do it again.
Definitely.
Sometime.
Let me know whenever.
Because I feel like there's, like, a million other things we can talk about. Yeah.
It's so nice. It's really good. I feel like whenever I'm doing tarot or talking about tarot people, I'm usually, like, teaching. It's just, like, really cool to be able to exchange experiences with someone else who's so into it. So, yeah, I really like it.
I completely agree.
Yay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yay.
Many blessings.
Awesome.
As always, thank you so much to all of you listening out there. I'll be sending you lots of good vibes and blessings as you listen to this episode of Tarot Electric. And please come back for more. You can find us on iTunes, where you can subscribe and rate and review Tarot Electric. And you can find me on my website, maryshock.com. Follow me on Instagram at Tarot Electric. And you can join our Facebook group, Be More Tarot Club. It's super fun. It's BMORE Tarot Club. And it's for everybody, not just the Baltimore folks. So I've got a lot of cool events coming up at the end of June and beginning of July. So you can check those out on my website and stay tuned. I've got a Tarot for Healing workshop that I'm putting on with North Avenue Knowledge Exchange in Baltimore. That's June 24th, a Saturday. I'm really excited about it. So please check that out on my website, register, come to that workshop. It's going to be really fun and I think helpful for all of us to look at tarot as a tool for self-care and community care as a healing modality. So I'm really excited to be sharing that. And I will be in Vipassana meditation from June 7th to June 18th. So I will be off the grid. There will be no podcast next week, and I won't be on social medias. I won't be available. So just send me lots of good vibes and give me your thoughts. Send your like loving and meditative thoughts my way because I'm going to be deep into my personal journey during that period of time, and I'll be really excited to catch up with everybody when I get out on the 18th. I've got a lot of cool podcasts on the way, so stay tuned. Thanks for listening. Many blessings.